Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Anna, and today we're going to be doing a full face, start to finish, all the steps, creating this monochromatic kind of dusty, dark, warm rose look. We're going to be excessive. We're going all in on products, but we are all over the price point spectrum. We're going from the most affordable up to Natasha Denona today. We're all over the place, just playing, painting, having a good time, and creating a look that I just really enjoy. It's like a high contrast, rosy look. And I think it came out really pretty. And I wanted to go for something very moody and dark academia-esque. Something that just suits me lately. And yeah, this is what we came up with. So if you want to see how I get this look and spend some time with me, just go ahead and keep on watching. I'm in the mood to do a start to finish, just full face, every step type of thing, and just take my time and enjoy the process. And I thought maybe you guys would like to join me while I do that. And we're going to be a little excessive today. We're going to be a little all over the place with our products, but we're just going to have a good time and create a look. Now, when I say excessive, I mean that I'm going to be dipping into both these palettes from Natasha Denona. Because there's a color row in here that I feel like needs to go together. It should be in a palette together. And that is the rosy tone row that is in both of them. R1, 2, 3 in the dramatic one. And the R1, 2, 3 in the soft one. Like, I need them to be together in a palette. So we're just gonna dive into both today and be excessive and pretend we are just makeup artists. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I've already primed my eyes with my Urban Decay primer potion. And we're just gonna dive right into the eyes first. So I'm going a little dramatic today. Look, we're doing very wearable dramatic. I'm also really feeling like a dark academia vibe today. Something warm and toasty because I'm cold. I'm actually finally feeling cold. I run hot these days. I don't know what it is, but Pumpkin's on her heated blanket. She's toasty cozy. I want to feel toasty cozy on my face, but not orangey. Warm and rosy. That's what we're going to go for. And yeah, I want to feel very dark academia at the same time. I'm going to start with R1. We're going to start with the soft palette. And we're just going to start here with under the brow bone and blanking out the lid a little bit, brightening things up. Kind of going a little old school with my order of products. Doing eyes completely first, but why not? And I'm just going to progressively get deeper. So now we're going to go to R2 from the soft palette right here. And we're going to build that up in the socket a little bit. And transition area mostly. Not so much socket, but right here. Just wanted to have these lighter shades play into the look as well. Now we'll go to R3 right here, and we're going to tuck that even tighter into the socket and transition area. Let all that flow together. Now we're going to jump over to the dramatic palette, and we're going to start with R1 and work our way down with this one. Now R1 in here has a little more toastiness in it, so it's going to pair really nicely and bring in that coziness that I'm looking for. So we're going to start right here with this one, and then we'll jump down to R3. And I'm going to take it on a lay down brush, and we're going to tuck it a little bit tight right into that socket. I'm thinking this is how, if I were a makeup artist, had both palettes in my kit, kind of how I'd approach things is bouncing between the two. Which I think they probably divided them up for consumer benefit and price. Getting a little bit so it wouldn't be so expensive, because you know, if these were together in one palette, it'd probably be close to $200, because that's how much they are separately. If you bought both, you're getting into the upper hundreds there. So I'm thinking that's why they divide them up, and they figured, well, you can buy which one suits you and fits your vibe. But as like a working makeup artist, I could see wanting both of these and finding them to be very useful in your kit if you're a fan. Enjoy Natasha's formulas like I do. And look at that. Look how we got so much toastiness all of a sudden happening. A warm, cozy feel. Alright, so I'm relaxing my eye, really making sure that is defined. And we're going to go to R3 right here. And I'm going to take that on the outer corner with my lay down brush as well, and outer V area. Blending brush, make sure everything's soft. And now we're going to go into R2, which is the beautiful metallic shade right here. It's a bit of a softer metallic. It's not a glimmery wet effect. It's a classic metallic formula. We're going to take that across the lid. And let that just flow right in. Now you don't need both these palettes to create this look. You could just do the dramatic palette and just, you know, blend a little bit more and make sure you shear out your starting shade, your transition shade. But I wanted to kind of experiment, I guess, and see how things would work together. Alright, so I want this to be kind of softly smoky in a way. Now, what we're going to do is jump over to the row right here called C1, or the C cool row on the end, this very dark one. We're going to take this brown at the top. We're going to use that as some liner on the upper lash line. And just really kind of stamp that right along. And just kind of blend it a little bit into the outer corner really softly. I'm using kind of a fluffier angled brush for this. So I'm just gonna work that right into the lashes. Now on this inner little bit here, I want to add a little sparkle. Bring some holiday cheer in, I guess you could say. And I'm going to take a little bit of, jump it out of the rosy cool tones. And we're going to go all the way over here to this one called P2, which is a beautiful peachy, sparkly shade that I think will tie in just beautifully. So I'm going to take that and just press a little bit right here. Just for a little bit of sparkle. Really catch the light and lean a little into that toastiness. Alright, cool. Now what I'm going to do is clean up a little bit. So I got a little too far in here, and then tidy up the outer corners a bit and just make things look a little neater. So I'm going to grab a Q-tip and a little bit of face primer. Just go along under here and pick up any fallout, because I wasn't being careful. I was just kind of going in since I was doing my eyes first. It's kind of like I just go nuts and don't worry about fallout in that capacity when I'm doing that. So yeah, just sharpening up that edge, kind of crisp, yet still blending and smoky at the same time. And just making sure the shadow is where I want it to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the skin. And yeah, we're going to put a little bit of our primer on. We're going to do e.l.f. Liquid Putty Primer. Just a touch of this in the T-zone. And then on the perimeter, we're going to use some of the e.l.f. Halo Liquid Glow stuff. So just going to go in the pore area. And we're going to take the Halo Glow Liquid Filter, which mine's a little deep, so we're going to make sure you use this underneath our foundation and be a little careful. I need to just get this in my proper shade, but every time I go do it, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to. I got this one, it's fine. Yeah, it's clearly too deep for me, but whatever. But we're going to keep this to the perimeter, high points. Once it shears out, it's fine, especially if I'm doing underneath foundation. And I'm just going to buff that out. You see, it buffs out just fine. And then we'll take some foundation. We're going to use Soft Glam from e.l.f. as well. Look, we're using high-end and then e.l.f. Good products are good products. It doesn't matter the price. Well, I mean, it does, obviously. That's not how I mean it, but it doesn't matter if something is $3. If it's good, it's good. That's what I mean. So, taking a little bit of this. I have this in the shade Light Cool. Just a couple little squirts of this out. And I'm going to apply this with a sponge today, because all my brushes are dirty. So we're taking this little random makeup sponge. Don't know the brand, but they're good. Like, it's really like a no brand one, but it's really nice. For instance, she got them at Target, and she wasn't a fan, but they worked great for me. I mean, she's just not a fan of these types of sponges, but whatever. Alright. So I'm going to do a little bit of not quite underpainting, not quite overpainting. We're going to do a little bit of the sandwich technique is what I like to call it, where we're kind of underpainting, but we're doing our foundation, then bronzer, contour, liquid blush, and then go over top with our concealer, and then maybe follow that with some powder products. We're going to do that. So I'm going to go with my Halo Glow Beauty Wand contour, also from e.l.f., and sculpt out the face a little bit. And I guess I'll use a brush for this step to blend it in. So I'm going to take a little bit onto my hand off of this, squeeze on up. Just kind of work off the back of my hand like a palette. And a little bit of sculpt. So that's going to be our bronzer contour liquid. And for blush, I'm going to pull in from Merit. This is the shade Redux. This is their little balmy blush situation. I'm going to use some of this, which I may dip back into this one towards the end of the look as well, just to maybe balance out some. But for now, we're going to take some of this. Just pull a little bit around here. Kind of keep that a little like on the monochromatic side of things, color-wise. Okay, now we need some brows. Because I can't stand not having brows on right now. We got to put some brows. We're going to take some of the Milani Stay Put Brow Mousse. And work a little bit of that in to the brows. Gently. So cleaned off the spoolie. I'm going to go in fairly gently for this. And just get the hairs. Kind of come through them backwards. All right. Just went ahead and do that step real quick because it was kind of driving me crazy. They were looking a little too pale, a little too bald. And what we do to kind of fill them in a little more is I'm going to jump over to the Soft Sculpt palette because there's actually a shade in here that matches my brows really nicely. And it's kind of in between these two. And they work really well in my brows. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of C3 through them today. And on a little angled brush, a little liner brush. I'm just beefing them up a little bit. Now, let's jump over to some concealer. I'm going to take Revlon Glimmer Concealer and the brightening shade Light Pink or Pink. One of the two. We're going to use this as our concealer today. I'm going to take that right under here. And we do a little bit of this action. Just for some nice lift and brightening. Okay. There we go. Well, that played together really well and blended out like a dream. All right. On the other eye, we're going to use some of the L'Oreal Blurfection to brighten and set all that, or keep it bright. Alright, and then on the rest of the face, we're going to go with some good old e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder. Wherever that ran off to, here it is. Their pressed powder. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush and just set the rest of the face. Okay. Now let's jump back to the lower lash line and finish that up. We're gonna go to the Dramatic palette and basically pull the same shades. I'm gonna start with that C2 or C1 shade that we used at the lash line. Grab some of that on that same angled brush and join up. Just like so. Just using the edge a little bit. And then on my lay down brush on one side, I'm gonna take R3, which is the deepest of the rosy colors we used. And we got one side of the brush, just gonna buff along. You know, I'm not really a Taylor Swift fan. Like, it's just not my style. I'm more of a Lana Del Rey girly. If you're gonna talk about kind of pop music. But I have got Fate of Ophelia stuck in my head, and it's such a dang good song. I like it. It is catchy. Alright. And you know what? I'll take a little bit of that softer metallic shade that we used on the lid, R2. We'll take a little bit of that as well. Just along. There we go. Alright. And on the inner part, to kind of continue our little sparkle there, I'm going to take some of P2, which is that same sparkly shade, and I'm going to use my angled brush. I'm just going to clean it off. Hit that inner part with it. I think that's going to be the eyeshadow pretty much done. I am going to jump over to the soft palette and use a couple of the shades from here just to do some additional blending. So I'm going to take R3 from in here, which is the deepest of them in the soft palette, on our fluffy brush. Just to kind of smooth things out a bit. Alright, and then I'm going to take that nearly white shade and make sure the brown is looking nice with it. It is like a pinky tone cream. Alright. And I think we're going to call it good on the eyes, as eyeshadow goes. Now, let's jump back over to the face. I think I'm going to add a little more brightness on the cheeks. And I'm going to pull in this from Laura Geller. This is her Baked Blush and Brighten and Tropic Hues. Bringing in some warmth and some toastiness with this one. But look at all those beautiful colors sprawled together. How pretty is that? I thought this would be so pretty with the look, because it kind of ties in with our shades we got going on. And we're going to apply this very, kind of as our highlighter in a way. It's going to add a little bit of glow to the skin and a little bit of brightening effect. And just kind of bring some life in. Because why not? You can always use a little more oomph. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. These are pretty pigmented, so I tap off a good bit. Oh yeah, just brought a little bit of something in that was missing. And some beautiful glow. It's a very pretty color. Like, it's not one that I would initially go for based on just the name, because I'm not typically a very tropical person, but I love the way it looks on the skin. It's a really nice warmth. You got so many complex little shades in here and such a beautiful glow coming off of this that it kind of doubles as a highlight. So that is really nice. Okay. I don't really think we need any bronze, but maybe we'll add just a touch. We're going to jump to Charlotte Tilbury, reach over to Charlotte Tilbury and pull in some of the Film Star Bronze and Glow, a classic. And we're going to take a little bit of the bronze from in here and maybe a little bit of the highlight too. We'll see. Just a little bit. I'm using a pretty light hand. And then I'm going to add a little teeny touch of the highlighter from in here, which is just a very beautiful glowy champagne. It's one of the most refined, pretty highlighters. Okay, and I think I'm going to take a little bit on the inner corner. And we'll do a little bit right there. Alright, I'm going to throw on some mascara real quick and fluff out my hair, and we're back for lips. Right, now let's get to lips. I'm going to take some of the Keep It Full Plumping Lip Liner in over the top. This is the color I was wanting. Yeah. We're going to top it off with Revlon Super Lustrous in Rose Velvet. I think this color kind of ties in to the whole look pretty well. Very pretty with it. Like, yep. Alright, and here's our look all complete. I love how these colors are playing together. It's like a mauvey, warm type of vibe we got going. There's like, it's almost like you could call it cool tone terracotta. I'm not exactly sure. Warm rose? Yeah, we'll call it warm rose. And it's dark, it's kind of moody, it's dramatic, it's kind of a high contrast rosy look. That's also very smoky and desaturated at the same time. I really like it. I like how these shades are playing together. Very monochromatic, which is kind of one of my favorite makeup styles, is for everything to be pretty much on the same tone. Which I really enjoy a very monochromatic makeup look, so yeah. And I know, totally excessive with jumping into both of the palettes from Natasha, but I just want to do it just to play and see what would happen and how they would go together if you did happen to get both. I'm hoping she'll like bundle these or do some kind of promotion with that. Just something to make that a little bit more accessible to have both of them. Because yeah, it's pretty pricey if you wanted both. And like I said though, if you were going to pick one, I would just go with the dramatic and use a softer hand to blend things out and skip out on the soft palette. The soft palette is going to be very specific and very niche. And oddly, I didn't think I would get a lot of use out of the soft palette. Like, I wanted it just because I had the dramatic one and loved it so much. I was like, well, I gotta get the soft one. It's gonna drive me crazy if I don't. And then when I first got it, I was like, am I gonna use this a lot? I have used it so much since I've gotten it. It has been that palette that stays out on my desk that I've reached for nearly every day. Or just running out the door, just wanting a little something. It's gotten some use. So I'm very happy about that, and happy that I'm enjoying it. With my skin tone, my coloring, and all the things, it works. But yeah, anyway, I really liked the way this look came out, and very much enjoyed just sitting down with you guys and doing a full start to finish face and just playing and doing all the steps. It was very relaxing. So anyways, thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you guys in the next one. May the peace of the Lord be with you always. Bye now.